Okay, let's delete that motherfucker because that sucked. Where is this fucking thumbnail? Okay. Conley, how you doing? Well, come on. I want to be able to download this goddamn thing. There we go. Come on. Load up. Load up. Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Here we go. Share, download, and your mama. Download complete. YouTube live and motherfucking thumbnail. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to get a thumbnail on this live so as people find it, it's more recognizable. Save. And come on. There you go. All right. Fucking shit. How's it going? Well, it's tax season, so as you can tell, I have papers fucking everywhere. How's it going? It's that time of year again. How's it hanging? It doesn't really hang. It just kind of sits there. Like a little turtle head pulled back into its shell. You hate tax season. It can be a bitch, but you know, I just had to make sure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed for the accountant, and that's what this is about. And just making sure that everything that I've been putting in throughout the course of the year is all set for her, with the various files and shit. I meet with her on Monday, and I hand all of that off, and then she gets back to me in a couple of weeks and tells me how much fucking money I owe or don't owe. So, what are we discussing? Anything. You got about an hour-ish with me until I got to bounce. So anything. Would you like to discuss the fact that I've been accused of taking APAC money because I expressed an opinion that people didn't like? We could talk about that if you like. No more taxes. Let's just not do that anymore. Well, that's not how it works, unfortunately. Happy Tuesday to you, Tom, sir. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing fine. I've been working on tax shit all day. I'm going to go see my son compete in a Scholastic Bowl match in a little over an hour, and then I'm going to go have some corned beef and taters. How much did you take? 0. Here in Canada, the temperature goes up or down about 20 degrees. That is the temperature here in Canada during tax season, right? Taxes are easy now that you're retired. Yeah, I'm not to that point yet. But now that we're out of the trucking business, taxes will get easier for me. Oh, it's worth every fucking penny I pay for my accountant. Every fucking penny it is worth. To not have to figure all this out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 LLCs, and one of those LLCs owns half of another LLC. So that 4.5 LLCs, everything that you could possibly fucking imagine is itemized across the fucking board, right down to the goddamn penny I paid for a fucking mile of gas. And so you just make sure all that information is locked in and in a spreadsheet, and you have physical receipts. You give it all to your accountant, you give them a few $100, and it's all taken care of. Do you pay taxes on what you make here on YouTube? Fuck yeah. 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 This year, between federal and state, 50 grand. I paid 40,000 in federal taxes of what I made here. YouTube doesn't tax me. I'm a 1099 contractor with YouTube. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Right back at you. Never noticed all the skulls. Yeah, they're all resin skulls back there. They're pretty cool. I like them. That's why I got them. A fatty for St. Patty. A fatty because it's a day ending in Y. You like the guitars, the mini guitars? Yeah, they're pretty cool over there. So the top row is mini guitars on that half. The lava lamp is the halfway point, and then it's skulls from there. And then this cubby over here is my father's ashes and his shit. This is a miscellaneous cubby down here. I got shit in front of it. These are all V-dub die-cast buses, books, miscellaneous, Indianapolis Colts. Highest you've ever been? I don't know. Do they work? Does what work, if you don't mind me asking? Can you release the smoke on camera? Yeah, I thought I was. I am the one that does the dusting, hence the reason why there's so much fucking dust back there. It needs to be done desperately bad. But as you can tell, I need my office to be clean before I can begin dusting. So that's a no-go right now. Oh, the guitars. No, they do not. Are your lungs all right? Ish. Tyler, my take on Kat Abagazala in Chicago's or Illinois' 9th Congressional District really pissed some people off. My follow-up to that video that posted this morning at 10:30 really pissed some people off. Because people on the far left can be just as bad as people on the far right. Abso-fucking-lutely. And that's the problem that we have in our politics today. Hello, Santa Claus. I am not Santa Claus. I am Santifa. You pissed off more guilty parties. Good to hear. Hey, hello, Mr. Powell. Any thoughts on the strike in Greeley, Colorado at the beef processing plant? I don't know anything about it. I have to look into it. Do you like Trump? I don't like Trump at all. There's no part of Trump I like. There is no redeeming quality to that rancid, liquefied bucket of rhinoceros shit. He is a waste of otherwise useful human DNA, and every fucking breath he takes is a sin against humanity. Was your opinion about her what got you accused of taking AIPAC money? Yep. Extremism has become the norm. Yep. Wouldn't be a day ending in Y if you didn't piss someone off. Yep. And what really fucking gets under my skin with this kind of shit is it's people on our side of the fucking aisle. It's people on the left. Trump is below dog shit on the scale of likability. Trump is the shit on dog shit shoe. Trump is the dumbest president we've ever had. Green Show. The Tom Green Show. Trump is the dumbest president we've ever fucking had. hands down, without question. Yesterday, he said that Gavin Newsom was a low IQ individual because he had dyslexia. And you can't be president if you have dyslexia. George Washington and John F. Kennedy had dyslexia. Trump thought we should blow up hurricanes with nuclear weapons. He didn't know that we didn't have airplanes during the Revolutionary War. He didn't know that Colorado wasn't on the southern border. He stared directly into a fucking solar eclipse. He is the dumbest motherfucker to ever hold that office, and quite possibly the dumbest motherfucker to ever step foot inside that building. And that might be a bit extreme given all of his followers that actually stepped foot in that building on January 6th, but he's in the fucking team photo, I guarantee it. William, why are you telling Connolly to shut up? She's talking about Trump insulting people with disabilities. Can we address the fact we were warned about all of this just over 50 years ago? Project Blue Book interview part 3. I don't know about Project Blue Book, but I know we were warned about it in 2016, 2020, and 2024. You grew up poor as well. Fair point, Howell point. Absolutely. Here's the problem. I've never been offered any money. There are people on the right who get paid to make certain types of content on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. There are people on the left who get paid to not make certain kinds of money, certain types of content on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I'm neither. I get paid to make content as a result of ad revenue from the ads that are placed on my videos from the various social media platforms. I've never been offered a dime to make a video. I've never been offered a dime not to make a video. And AIPAC doesn't fucking want me because AIPAC is a piece of shit organization that wants to offer $1,500 a video to people who are going to be quiet about it. And they know that if they offered me that money, I would tell you they offered me that money. So the fact that there are people on the left accusing me of taking AIPAC money because I did one video about one candidate that they didn't like shows you just how bad the extremism on the left actually is. Apex, thank you very much. Will Gordon, what's going on with Will Gordon? Okay. What strain are blazing that smells like lemon pledge? What? How do you know what anything smells like in my office? I hear that, and you're usually pretty dead on with policy. Thank you very much. And I don't have a strain. I just have whatever the fuck my guy put in this fucking bag right here. Renee mentioned it earlier. Yeah, I don't know what the smell is. It's got to be this weed. She said that it smelled like lemon pledge in here, and I was like, fuck, I don't know. It's got to be the new weed. It all smells like weed to me. I don't know. Your fans have to be totally clueless to just believe that. Give me a single example of AIPAC paying a content creator. There are numerous reports of AIPAC paying large content creators within the state of Illinois $1,500 a video to make negative content about candidates like Kat Abogazala. I'm going to mispronounce her name because I always stumble with it, but Kat Abogazala, or however you pronounce her last name. I have no doubt that AIPAC is doing that. They're just not doing it to me. Thank you for becoming a member, Tim. I appreciate that. For those of you who don't know, I do have memberships. It's a few bucks a month. I don't do anything specific for the members, but it is a way for people to be able to financially support the page if they choose to do so. You want to pitch in a few bucks a month to help the page? Thank you very much. Howell point. What do you mean yet? Yet what? Sup, brother. Nothing. What is APAC? I'm ignorant to the topic. It's an organization, it's a lobbying organization on behalf of Israel that pays money for people to create certain types of content and lobby Congress for things that benefit Israel. It's just to dumb it down. They're going to give me an offer I can't refuse. Okay. Thoughts on the Dylan and the Dead live album? Anything that the Grateful Dead ever did and anything Bob Dylan ever did, I always thought was damn good. The Dylan and the Dead, they're all good albums. Everybody should take an opportunity to look into the work of each individual member of the Grateful Dead outside of the band. Jerry Garcia, Phil Lesh, Bobby Weir, they all had their own projects outside of the Dead. And if you ever venture outside of the Dead and into those realms, it opens up a whole new world of music. Plug in guitar and play some notes, maybe. I don't know how, and I don't have an amp nor a cord. My cat's name is Mittens. He is a black cat and has ebony paws, hence the name. Well, right on. Say hello to Mittens for us and give Mittens a treat. I like Neil Young. Neil Young was a guy that, I mean, admitted it later on in life. He came off as this curmudgeon-y kind of guy. But remember, oh shit, what was the award show that he gave that speech? He said, if I seem like I'm angry or crabby or any of that, it's all bullshit. Life's great. I mean, we made a bunch of money and we're doing great. Do you see the Iran situation manifesting as large-scale violence in the U.S.? I did a video yesterday featuring people from the Lincoln Project, Rick Wilson specifically from the Lincoln Project. And I think he made an excellent point. He said Iran is 90 million people. They have a population of 90 million. If you don't think Iran, with 90 million people, can find 10 young men to get into this country or that are already in this country that are willing to strap on a bomb and walk into a theater somewhere because of what's going on, then you are not paying attention. And we've got a problem in that DHS has been repurposed into this secret police that's going around and looking for brown people in cities, and they're not paying attention to the terror threats in this country. Yeah, I think that the terror threat in this country is way up. Way up. We are prime targets right now for terrorism here in the United States. Do I think Iran is going to try to invade us militarily? No, that's not how they do things. But would I be surprised if shit starts blowing up in this country? Nope. And it could happen anywhere. It could be on a fucking random Thursday afternoon in Times Square just because they fucking feel like it. It could literally be anywhere, anytime, doesn't fucking matter. I don't usually comment on live streams, but I have a cruise ship to recommend to you since you said you like cruising. Celebrity Beyond. We're sailing on her in May out of Miami. We just did Celebrity Summit in August up in Alaska. I saw a TikTok video about Celebrity Beyond. I showed it to Renee. We were both like, wow, that ship is fucking gorgeous. We liked the Alaskan cruise. We didn't have a problem with the ship that we were on. It might have been because of the type of cruise it was, being an Alaskan cruise out of Vancouver, but the crowd was a much older crowd and much grouchier. They spoke. We saw more than a few examples of passengers just speaking shitty to staff members. And I was like, come on, really? Cruise ships only have to be 30 miles out to dump the sewage. I read something like that, yeah. A generation at a time, and before long, all rights are lost and no one notices, and lose more rights. Thank you for the shamrock. Appreciate that. What time we got here? 2:49. Plenty of time. plenty of time. Watching from the Netherlands. Happy to see sane American rather than the absolute shit show we are watching on the news. If you think it's crazy to see the shit show you're watching on the news, try being here. Like, those motherfuckers that you see on the news, they're in our everyday lives, right? They're at our children's events. They're at our grocery stores. They're pumping gas at the next pump. Those batshit motherfuckers live among us. $17.89 comes to mind. I hate being radicalized at the age of 70. All right, false flag. Patriot Act 2.0. Okay, I get what you're saying there. Hi, Tom. Do you think Trump's anger at European NATO countries over Iran will push him closer to Putin's Russia? I don't think you can get him closer to Putin's Russia. Seriously. He's already in bed with Putin. Everything he does is something that Putin wants to push. The dissolving of NATO, pulling out of treaties, pushing NATO countries to spend more money, pulling back on helping Ukraine. All of the shit that he has ever pushed as president is shit that Putin has pushed. Why? Putin owns him. We know this. It's already an established fact. The Trump sons told us before that they couldn't get money from American banks, so they started getting it from Russian oligarchs. That's where all of their money came from. Donald Trump can't say anything bad about Putin. He's the only president in American history to allow Russian officials into the White House with no American press. Why was the GOP in Moscow for July 4th, 2018? Exactly. Putin has succeeded, folks. He has penetrated and is now occupying an entire political party here. It's not some conspiracy theory. Donald Trump, I don't think like Donald Trump grew up in Russia or was trained in Russia. I just think he's the useful idiot they always talk about. Lenin always talked about back in the day. And they have so much compromise on this motherfucker because he is so easily bribable, because he is such a fuck up, that, yeah, he's already owned by Putin. There is no getting closer to Putin. And now he's on Truth Social today talking about how our allies are not really our allies because they're unwilling to send warships to the Persian Gulf to assist in the fuck up that he created. And so, he's screaming in all caps on Truth Social, we don't need help from any of them. Well, then why the fuck did you ask for it? Why did you say on Air Force One to the press that these countries should really send their ships to help with what's going on over there? Because it's their energy that they need to get through that strait. He fucked up something and needs somebody else to fix it. And it's not like when he was in business. This is big boy shit now. In business, you could bribe people to help cover up shit and all that. This is world leader type shit. And they're all telling him to go fucking pound sand. And now he's pissed because he doesn't know how to end it. He doesn't know what to do. Darren Bailey for Illinois governor? Yeah, good luck with that. Darren Bailey lost to J.B. Pritsker by 12 points in the last election. This state has only become more sour on people like Darren Bailey in the interim years. Darren Bailey's probably going to lose by 20. He'll get the Republican nomination today. If Darren Bailey isn't the Republican nominee in November, I will be shocked. And there's a reason why Darren Bailey is skipping Republican debates for the primary, because he's got it in the bag. He's going to win the nomination, and then he's going to get fucking smoked in November. No, somebody said that he fired his head of intelligence, ? No, his head of intelligence quit. The head of counterintelligence in the United States, I believe it's the head of counterintelligence, resigned today because of the Iran war. He said that Iran posed no threat to us, and there was absolutely no justification to do what we're doing. And he walked today. I don't know that Melania isn't a red sparrow, but I can't convince you of one thing or another. You know, I just think Melania is Melania. I think she's like him. She's a fucking opportunistic piece of shit, and the two of them belong together. She sold her fucking soul for a goddamn financially secure future, and now she's reaping what she sows. I don't give a shit if she doesn't like him or doesn't want to sleep in the same bed with him or doesn't like the fact that he fucks anything that walks or he's disgusting. I don't fucking care. You chose him. You fucked him. You procreated with him. You're fucking going right off the cliff with him too. Excuse me while I get some ice for my water. Has Barron enlisted yet? Nope, and he never fucking will. While I could understand wanting to resign, wouldn't it be better to stay in and push back? I mean, yeah, in my opinion, but I think it's that fucking bad. Like nobody, there are going to be no guardrails around him immediately. The guardrails for the country are going to be the judiciary system, and if we can take back a chamber of the Congress in the fall. Nobody around him is going to stand up to him. He had people that stood up to him the first time around. That's why 26 of his cabinet members all endorsed Kamala Harris against him. Now he's surrounded by yes men. You think Pete Hegseth is going to step up? You know, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio was one of the biggest anti-Trump guys there was in 2016. Now look at him. He's on a fucking leash. Send ICE. Oh, yeah, all of them. They want to play tough guys and carry guns and all that. Go. They're the ones that should be on that fucking vessel entering the Persian Gulf right now, not 2,500 of our fucking Marines. And wearing big shoes, yes. Linda McMahon, I don't think, is the only member of this administration that's just looking to keep themselves out of jail. Random question. Do you enjoy the band Ghost? I've never heard of the band Ghost. Tell Franklin I said Dad's a good kitty. Yeah, he's not even in here. They're all napping across the house right now. As a matter of fact, Eddie is passed out on one chair on top of like a little cat igloo. Pepper is on another chair on a pillow. Our dog Clyde is laying on one love seat, and at the end of the love seat by his head is a rolled up tortilla blanket, and our black cat Ozzy is on that right now. And I don't know where Frank and Fred are. They're probably in the bedroom, our bedroom, curled up in a pile. Answer my question. I asked it a serious question. Okay, there are 123 people in here. I didn't see your serious question. So would you like to ask it again? Cats be chillin'. They're all chillin'. What has Pritsker done to help Illinois? He has given us a budget for the first time in years. He's upgraded our credit rating. He's worked on bills to protect our environment, to raise our wages, and protect our workforces. He doesn't allow the Nazis to run through the streets as much as he can get away with not allowing it. He's done a lot more for this state than any Republican governor has done in the past several years, going back to Jim Edgar. Edgar and Thompson were phenomenal governors here in the state of Illinois. Blagojevich, Quinn, dog shit. Rauner, an absolute fucking joke. Pritzker's been a solid governor, and he's going to be a contender in 28. There, now your serious question has been answered. ICE can be deployed to Iran to help their contractors. Exactly. Is Ohio a taker state? Yes. LOL, you forgot he raised taxes. Yeah, some taxes got raised. A lot of other taxes didn't get raised. What taxes are you bitching about? Clowns asking disingenuous questions, acting like they gotcha. Yeah, exactly. I get it every day. I get it every day. I was here earlier but could hear you. Sorry, I'm getting notifications at the top of my phone. Leo is sleeping in his spotted chair. Lions in the basement. Meatball's probably driving my car. She's giving me a layout of all the cars. Is Michigan blue? Historically speaking, it is typically leaned blue, but it is one of those swing states that goes back and forth. He hasn't did anything to help Illinois. That's why he will be fired. Sure thing, Cletus. He didn't do shit to help Illinois. That's why he gonna get fired. Watch, he's gonna win by 20 points this time around. Fucking clown. What part of the state do you live in, if you don't mind me asking? Where is this clown? Michael Neal, 1223. What part of the state do you live in, Michael? Could you elaborate? I mean, without giving us the town, give us the general area. The county? Where you at? What do you think of Kat Abagazala? I've done 2 videos that has pissed off a lot of people about pissed off a lot of people at me about my thoughts on Kat Abagazala. You should go watch them. Honestly, if Pritzker ran in 2028, I would vote for him with no hesitation. He's going to be a contender in 28. Redfoot says did not graduate. Who didn't graduate? Who are you talking about? Hey, sorry if it was asked already, but will you still be going live tonight? No, I will not be. No, not shit, Chicago. Okay, you've told me where you don't live. Are you embarrassed of where you live that you won't say where you live? Gotcha, Redfoot. Neither did I. You see, this is the funny part, right? He's in Illinois. He doesn't like the liberal leadership in Illinois. I ask where he's from. He won't say where he's from because he knows he's from Henderson County. All right, let's take a look here. Let's take a look. Give me a moment here. Okay. I got you. All the way out there. Sure thing. So you... Let's see where you're at. Sorry, it's just loading. My apologies. Yes. You are taking in... Oh, look at that. About $1.70 in state funding for every $1 your county puts in. My county takes in 68 cents for every dollar it puts in. My county keeps your county alive. So how about you shut the fuck up about taxes and just say thank you? You're welcome, by the way. Your county can't fucking exist without my county. and you got the unmitigated sack to come on Beyonce's internet and bitch about Illinois taxes, get all the way the fuck out of here with that bullshit. You live in a fucking Taker County. Fucking clown. Fucking clown. Is Georgia blue or red, and is it a taker or donor? Georgia is currently a taker state, and it did go blue for Joe Biden, went back red for Donald Trump, has historically been red, but will be blue in the future. Atlanta is doing to Georgia what Chicago does to Illinois. What about Indian? I don't know what that means. Sorry. I live in a red-lined old sundown town in Worcester County, Massachusetts. We have a shit ton of sundown towns in the state of Illinois. A shit ton. Do you see Georgia becoming a donor? I would certainly hope so. I don't know where it's going to go, but usually as the GDP grows within a state, that means that state usually has a higher level of income, and fewer people are living on poverty or living under the poverty line, and therefore the equation at the federal level means they get less federal revenue. And as the Atlanta metro area grows, they begin to pump out more and more and more GDP there. It could very easily turn into a donor state. Lee County, Georgia? Yeah, I don't know. Have you heard that Sasha Riley is going to be on MS Now tonight in 2 time slots? Sasha Riley. Sasha Riley. Help me out. You sound like you only have a 6th grade level with your language. Well, that'll be your little secret, Puddin', because studies have shown that people that curse a lot typically have a higher IQ. You would know that if your head wasn't so firmly planted inside your own rectum. If you don't know what a rectum is, get yourself a dictionary. And if you don't know what a dictionary is, just get yourself a thesaurus and work your way forward. Let us know when you get there. You think Indiana is a red state? There's no thinking about it. Indiana is solidly red. Neil Peart is the best drummer of all time. Neil Peart is the greatest rock drummer of all time. Yes. Illinois is turning red? Sure. Yeah, it's going to be red any day now. Wrecked him. Damn near killed him. Sorry. That must mean I'm a genius because I cuss like a sailor. A motherfucking men, Popeye. Once Pritsker is fired. All right, we're done playing with you. Now you've been hidden. You can still comment, and when you comment, you're going to boost my algorithm. But because you've been hidden, we're not going to see your stupid comments anymore. So happy St. Patrick's Day. Get fucked, stay fucked. Sasha Riley is the young man that accused Trump and others of abusing him. Like, oh, no shit. Okay, I thought I recognized the name. He's going to be on tonight. Interesting. That'll generate a hell of a lot of clips. Neil or Chad for best rock drummer and no one else? Neil Peart is, when it comes to rock drummers, Neil Peart for sure. Are you talking about Chad from Red Hot Chili Peppers? Is that what you're talking about? Democratic nominee. Let's get through the midterms, and we'll talk about 2028. It is St. Patrick's Day. Indeed, it is Tuesday, March 17th. Therefore, it's St. Patrick's Day. We've had, my wife has had corned beef and cabbage going in the crock pot. I just drove her over to her mom's house with that. I'll go to our son's got a match here, a Scholastic Bowl match here in town in a little while, and then I'll grab him and we're going up to my mother in law's house to do the whole corned beef and cabbage thing, which is why there won't be a live tonight. What about John Bonham? Phenomenal drummer, phenomenal, just not the best. Corned beef and cabbage is great. I'm not a huge fan, but I don't mind it once a year. Progressives tax the billionaires to solve the problems. Yes, it would be nice if that happened. I'm making stuffed cabbage. Okay. So I think that is something that my wife calls a Bluesky or something. Who is John Bonham? He was a drummer, Led Zeppelin. We're not going to get into my thoughts on Ohio because it's going to take us down a road we don't need to go down. You're making lasagna soup since it's cold again? Yeah, today it was in the 20s. This morning it was in the 20s. What it feels like of like 8 degrees or some shit like that. And by Saturday we're going to be in the upper 60s. They say maybe even up into the mid 70s. Golubki is a Polish dish. Is that how it's spelled? Golubki? Yeah, she rolls cabbage with like a beef mixture, and she lays it in a pan and bakes them. Let's ask a Google type question we can find out on Google, somebody said. Holubki. Did you ever own or ride a VW bus? I've never owned one. I've obviously been in a VW bus, been in a bunch of different VW buses. I've never owned one. That's kind of like, you'll know our comfort level financially when you see me making content with a VW bus that I bought. That's not going to happen for years, though. So, have you eaten Israeli food? I can't say as I have. I don't I don't recall ever eating somebody and somebody say, "Hey, this is eating something," and having somebody say, "Hey, this is Israeli food. This is X, Y, and Z." It's not that I can think of. No. Have you ever had spicy cabbage rolls or Filipino lumpia? No. Def Leppard is cool. Pour some sugar on me is dope as fuck. Yes, it is. Always wanted a two-tone bus. Amen. The ideal bus for me would be a 72 Westphalia blue. But remember, and this is the unwritten rule when it comes to VW buses. Whatever the color originally was, that's what you're supposed to stick with. So if you go out and you buy a red bus, but you really wanted a green bus, the unwritten rule is that's a red bus. It has red energy. You give it a red name. It's a red bus. It's just what it is. You fix it up. You brighten up the red. You decorate the interior with red accents and things like that. But it's a red bus. You don't change the color of it. I don't know why that's an unwritten rule, but it's like something with the hippies and the aura of the bus while they're hugging the trees. But it's a thing, and they truly believe that it creates bad juju, and like the bus keeps breaking down and doesn't work right and shit like that if you change the color of the bus. So yes, even if the bus is orange. Yeah, you had blue buses and red buses and green buses and tan buses and orange buses and yellow buses. There were all kinds of different buses. Oh, don't even get me started on the goddamn Jeep thing with the ducks. That is just so fucking. You see a Jeep going down the street, and it's always a Wrangler, and that's fine. It's kind of like a Wrangler thing. Thankfully, I drive a Cherokee. But you see the dash lined with those rubber ducks, and you're like, okay, you got this thing going with other Jeep people. It's cool and all of that, but kind of weird to me. Your car's name is Tigger? No, my car's name is the taco truck. I had a a Chevy King Cab dually that was my work truck when I had the landscape company, and that was the big green Bud. Our daughter's car is Lola. I don't know what our other daughter named her car, if she named it anything. My bus buddy had a purple VW bus in '68. We had to push that fucker downhill to get it to start sometime. Yeah, I know. There were a couple of people that you had to like pop the clutch on some of those to get it to run. And listen, I'm not mechanically inclined in the least bit. I don't even know how to change the fucking oil in a car. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I do. They do say, however, that the VW bus, the old VW bus, was made so simplistically that it's like even dummies like me can work on it. I don't know if that's true or not. I know that they have it's kind of like called the VW Bus Bible. It's this manual of all things VW Bus that supposedly just tells you the easiest way of repairing damn near anything on a VW bus. I actually kind of like the way the new ones look. I just don't like the I don't like the mileage that you get out of a charge. My car is Jadis, aka the White Witch. My oldest kid's car is Salem. Our granddaughter is Salem. German engineering, not taken away from what you all believe, but the best drummer in the world. But the best drummer of all time was Buddy Rich. Okay, so see, Keith, that's why I made the distinction that Neil Peart was the greatest rock drummer of all time. Because when you start to get into big band drummers, when you start to get into swing drummers, then you see drumming that like blows you away. So yes, Rich is an example of somebody that might actually be a better drummer than Neil Peart. But I think I put them in two different categories because Buddy Rich isn't a rock drummer. You know what I mean? So, should I get myself a Harley or a Hyundai bike? What the fuck you asking me, man? I don't know. I don't know you. I don't know your finances. I don't know what you like. I don't know what you're looking for. That's, you know what I mean? I don't fucking know. All right, let's see here. I don't fuck with you. You little stupid ass bitch. I don't fuck with you. Sorry, I'm just checking my email real quick to see if. Okay. I had a 1990 Chevy Silver. Yeah, I was rapping. Chevy Silverado single cab step side pickup truck. I named it Big Red Machine. You gotta name it. You gotta name it. You know what I mean? Dude, Neil, he did go on forever. Yes. Much love from Madison, Wisconsin. Red Cross HQ. My grandfather was a trucker for BFI. The first truck he drove there was a 8084 F750, and he named it Mr. Frisky after the racehorse. Hey, dude, been watching you a while. Well, hey, dude, back at you. Cowboy, I'm in Madison too. Oh my God, do we have a hookup happening? Glad you are still alive. Had to go vote. No worries. We voted this morning. 3:20. You got me for about 15 more minutes. Bill Ward brought his jazz fusion drumming to Black Sabbath. If you listen to his fills, most are from that background. Right on. Happy St. Patty's. Well, thank you very much. Have you visited British Columbia? Is that where Vancouver is? Forgive me, I don't know what province they're in, but that's the only city in Canada we've been to. We were there in August for a singular day before we got on a cruise ship the next morning and departed for the Alaskan coast. Hello from a faithful Canadian watcher slash subscriber. Right on. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Was just out on University Ave with my protest sign that says Trump is a pedophile. Well, that's a true sign. Watching the river dyed green. No, that was done on Saturday. And have you seen the clips? Do you know how fucking insane it is in the city of Chicago on the day they dyed the river green? It's fucking batshit. Look up some of the video clips of the Metra trains. Metra is the train line that runs in and out of the city. Multiple lines going north, northwest, west, southwest, south. Multiple Metra lines. And that's how suburbanites get in and out of the city. And on St. Patrick's Day, asshole to elbow. Every fucking car, every fucking train, packed nuts to ass. Oh, no. No. I've done that in the past, been there, experienced it. I'm good. I'm good. At this stage in my life, I'm cool with seeing it from a distance and chilling out here in the suburbs with a little bit more space to me. You know who I'd love to see go experience that? My kids. I have a kid in the fucking city. I would love if she went to that. Nothing goes east out of Chicago. That is correct. There is no east. East, well, that's not technically true. Most of east is the lake. There is a small section of Chicago that borders Indiana on the south part of the lake. So technically speaking, you could go from Chicago due east into Indiana without going into the lake. Asshole to belly button like Marine Corps boot camp. Yep. Sounds like our trains during a Steelers game. Yeah. During the Taste of Chicago, they're packed. St. Patrick's Day, they get really fucking packed. I think they get fairly packed when it's called the Festival of Lights. It's in, I think, November. And it's when they do a parade down Michigan Avenue and they turn on all the Christmas lights, and Mickey Mouse is there turning on all the lights, and Santa's there and all of that shit. A lot of people go into the city for that one as well. You'd love Montreal, Tom. Super 420 friendly, walkable, and the best stoner food like poutine and smoked meat sandwiches. I'll try the smoked meat sandwiches. My wife had poutine in Vancouver. Not for me. Tom, I love that Cletus character you do when reading troll comments. It's the most accurate description I can possibly create for the largest number of people that represent that group. And that's not to say that everybody that has a Southern draw is stupid, not by any stretch of the imagination. But my God, there are a shit ton of people with a Southern draw that are hardcore MAGA conservatives that are dumber than a bag of fucking wrenches. Like, could not figure out how to fucking fight their way out of a wet paper bag. Just dumb as shit. Don't know how the fuck they figure out how to wipe their own ass every single fucking day. Seriously. Like, they believe the dumbest shit humanly fucking possible. A Jewish space laser started the California wildfires. Sounds about right to me. Hillary Clinton is eating babies out of a non-existent basement in a New Jersey pizza parlor. Let's go shoot them up. You know, this is the thought process of these fucking people. You know what I mean? JFK Jr., Michael Jackson, and Princess Diana are all still alive is what they believe. Fucking crazy, these fucking people. Thank you. The interview last night was fun. They're fucking nuts, man. They're knuckin' futs. It's enough to make you want to kick a fat kid in Kmart. Sorry. So because I'm conservative, I'm automatically MAGA? When did I say that? As a matter of fact, I make a distinction between MAGA and Republicans frequently in my videos. When did I say to you that automatically you're MAGA because you're conservative? Can you pinpoint the video? See, this is what we get. It's all or nothing shit. Crazy going between right and left commentary lately. Hello, Tom. Keep being yourself. Love your energy. Thank you very much, Samuel. Appreciate that. 3:24. We got a few more minutes. Good timing. What, did you just scroll in here, Bob? If so, welcome. A quick childish 7th grade joke for everybody just coming into the room. How do you catch an elephant? You dig a really big hole. You fill it full of your cigarette ashes. You put some leaves and branches over the top and a few bananas, or I'm sorry, peanuts. And when the elephant comes along to eat the peanuts, you kick him in the ash hole. I try saying that Republicans and Democrats have to team up against MAGA. Exactly. Here's another one for you. The farmer's wife was doing dishes in the kitchen when she saw her son coming across the field home from school. She saw he was in a very bad mood, and then all of a sudden he hauled off and he kicked the pig. He walked a little bit further and he punched a cow. He finally gets into the house, and the farmer's wife says to her son, I saw what you did, and as a punishment, no bacon and no steak for a month. Just then, the farmer comes in from a rough day at the field, and as he's walking across the living room floor, he hauls off and he kicks the cat, and the son turns to the mom and says, you want to tell him or should I? Excuse me one moment. Clyde, you want to go outside? Come on, bud. Come on, let's go potty. You need to go potty one more time before I skedaddle. Come on. We're doing a little bit of this run. What do you think about Def Leppard's drummer? He's a persistent motherfucker, that's for goddamn sure. I mean, most people, when they lose an arm, would just give up drumming. He didn't, and he made it work, and so fucking good on him, man. You went to fart and pretend to let the pet out. My friend, I have no qualms about farting sitting right here talking to you. What did I miss today? Let's see. There was an alien invasion on one of the Malaysian islands. The abominable snowman was finally sighted in Nepal. A megalodon ate a fishing boat off of South Africa. And wouldn't you know, the animals in the New York Zoo actually do talk. That zebra, he's a cocky little prick. I don't know what the fuck. It's St. Patrick's Day and it's the primary. What did you miss? Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows? Oh, you're back to the Polish dish. Right on. Did you hear about the meteor that was seen across Pennsylvania and Ohio today? Can't say as I have. It rained in the UK, but that's not really news. No, it isn't. Don't forget the penguins, man. Smile and nod, boys. Just smile and nod. Is the abominable snowman really that bad? I don't know. We've never heard his side of the story, as far as I'm concerned. I guess a meteor hit in Ohio. Interesting. I mean, if I was going to pick a state for it to hit, I think that would be in my Mount Rushmores of selections. Ohio, Florida, Texas. Ohio, Florida, Texas, Kentucky. Kentucky. For sure, Kentucky, because here's the deal. Even though there are states that probably have done worse things to the country as a whole, that motherfucking state gave us Mitch McConnell. So, yeah, I think that would be my Mount Rushmores. Tom, pick a state to be eradicated by a meteor. My Mount Rushmore, my team photo would be Ohio, Florida, Texas, and Kentucky. Will the Save America Act pass? I highly doubt it passes because, listen, the only way that passes right now is if the Republicans blow up the filibuster in the Senate. Otherwise, they don't have the votes. It's the only way it happens. Unless like some really insane change of mind happens, right? The Republicans in the Senate don't want to blow up the filibuster to get this done because they fear losing control in the fall. And what they don't want to do is hand the Senate back to the Democrats with no filibuster. It's the same reason the Democrats didn't blow up the filibuster when they were in control before Mitch McConnell became the majority leader. They knew at some point in time Mitch McConnell was going to be back in control, and they didn't want to hand him a Senate without a filibuster. They want to keep that 60 vote threshold. So, unless the Republicans absolutely cave to Donald Trump, and I think what we're beginning to see is people going, well, wait a minute, I don't have to fucking cave to you because you're on your way out. We're in the midterm year already. That means you got 2 years, man, and you're out of here, and you can never run for president again. So, no, I don't think it's going to pass. And if it does pass, oh, is it going to get fucking challenged immediately? Because the Constitution of the United States clearly lays out that the states control the elections. Jesus fucking Christ. The states control the elections. It's in the Constitution. So one would think the only way that you can change that and have the federal government oversee state elections is through a constitutional amendment, not through a bill. So even if that does pass, that's going to get challenged, and it's going to take 1.5 to 2 years to make its way through all of the various levels of federal courts before it gets to the point where the Supreme Court can decide if they want to hear it. And that's if we get past the point of Republicans right now really, 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 really fucking hesitant to blow up the filibuster, and Democrats being a hard no across the board. Maybe they get Fetterman. Doesn't matter. It's not enough. They don't have enough votes to get it passed. So, no, I don't think it passes. And Trump keeps pushing it. Trump says he won't sign any legislation until he gets that legislation. And I think the Republicans in Congress or in the Senate right now are looking at the fact that we are how many months away from a November election? And they're going, man, I got a fucking run for re-election here. You want to fucking relax with this goddamn, we're going to fucking federalize the vote in this country bullshit? If they passed the SAVE Act right now, there would be no time to implement it before the midterms. Absolutely no time to implement it. Would you want the meteor to hit anywhere specific in Ohio? I want to be very clear about this. I want the entire area evacuated before it happens. I don't want a single person to be hurt in the process of this. But once that evacuation happens, oh yeah, yeah. The Ohio State motherfucking university. Just fucking, yeah. Nice little meteor. Take the Ohio State, take that fucking horseshoe and bend it the fuck over. Good boy. Good boy. Hopefully you relieved yourself, especially since I was accused of relieving myself for letting you out. Which just goes to prove I can't even let my dog out without being accused of having nefarious alternative means. Gotta let the pooch back inside. Yes, play Freebird. I wish I could do what you do. And that would be what? What kind of dog is it? It is a yellow lab. He's an 11-year-old yellow lab. Tuesday's gone with the wind. Guess the old TikTok day are over. What does that mean? If you don't mind me asking, 1086. Be a streamer, I mean. Oh, do content for a living? You can do it. Got a table drum when you sing. Got on the scale with my cat. He weighs 14.7. He's thicker than a bowl of oatmeal, isn't he? Just a straight unit. How's your cat doing? Well, it depends on which cat you're asking about, because we have 5 of them. Content on TikTok? I do 50 videos on TikTok every other day. Today is St. Patrick's Day. Indeed it is. I like Great White, but I can't play them here. House of Broken Love. The station nightclub cancel them. Jesus Christ. You have a Belgian Malinois? Yeah, they are high strung. Have you ever ate 67 tacos? Like in one sitting? No. I'd swap Kentucky for Mississippi. Okay. They were on stage for the fire. We appreciate the heck out of you, home. Thank you very much. Frank's the guy. He's not high strung. He's lazy. Oh, interesting. I miss having cats. You got a few minutes with me, and then I gotta like do some things around here before I get ready to bolt. Any idea for a No Kings poster? My apologies. Honestly, I'm not the right guy to ask. The only thing I have ever actually physically protested in my life, like, as far as with another large group of people, was when I was a freshman at high school and the school wouldn't let us have men have earrings in our ears. We all wanted to wear earrings in our left ear. We did wear earrings in our left ear for a brief period of time. And the school was like, no. And so we walked out. I don't do protests. I'm not saying that protests are ineffective. They obviously can be effective. I just wonder what is really truly accomplished by a lot of these protests. Listen, I get people make friends and they stand together with a good cause, and that's all good and fine and dandy. In my opinion, Donald Trump and the Republicans, they don't give a fuck if you protest. They don't fucking care. Protest all you fucking want. They don't give a shit. They're not listening to anybody. They're not even listening to their own fucking people. They don't care. So I'm of the opinion that it becomes sort of useless if the people that you're protesting are never, ever, 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 ever going to be moved by what it is that you do in the form of a protest. I think that the only way that you get the people like Donald Trump and the people that work for him is the only thing that they give a shit about, taking away their power or hitting them in the pocketbook. So you want to know when Donald Trump's going to listen? If he loses Congress in November. Now he's not going to. He'll hear it, but he's not going. You know what I mean? He's not going to change, but he'll also be muted. He'll listen because he'll have no fucking choice but to listen, because nothing he wants to get done will get through Congress. You know how the fucking billionaires listen? The millionaires listen? When you hit them in the pocketbook. Listen, you're never going to make one of these companies go under, but if you don't eat at a place or shop at a place or frequent a place, you can make a serious difference in their pocketbook. They're never going to go under. But once they begin to get their pocketbook hit, I think that they listen a little bit more often. I think that there's more of an opportunity to change, especially when you're dealing with the corporations, not the politicians. The politicians, they don't have to change. The corporations, their livelihood depends on your customer base. You know what I mean? Can we do a national strike? I just don't know. I don't see a national strike being successful. I don't think you're going to get enough people to actually participate to make it effective. And how long does it have to be effective? A day? I don't think they're going to feel it. A week? They begin to notice that, hey, nobody's coming in, but how long can you be off of work? You know what I mean? I think the best thing that could happen right now, and we'll wrap this up in just a couple of minutes now after I get done talking about this. I think the best thing that could happen right now to put the Republicans and Donald Trump in their place is if all of the blue states withheld their federal revenue. Is if there was a way to stop the federal revenue from flowing from our paychecks out to the federal government. I know it doesn't go through the hands of the blue states, it goes directly to the federal government. But if there was a way for the blue states to enact something to stop that from happening, if the blue states cut off the federal pipeline, if the blue states stop sending their money in, that's 78% of the federal revenue. So if you can turn the spigot off on 78% of the money going to the federal government, well, you're going to get these motherfuckers' attention real quick. Real fucking quick. And the blue states sit on that revenue instead of having it go to the federal government? Fuck yeah. There's where you're going to begin to see a civil war. There's where you're going to begin to see red states go, motherfucker, we're not getting our federal revenue. Sucks to be you. Don't know what to tell you. You cut that 78-ish rough, it's in the 70s, I think it's 78% of the federal revenue off. Yeah, people going to fucking listen real quick. Yes, the blue states could then use that money to actually service their citizens. No show tonight. What am I smoking? Nothing. Okay, I need to do a couple of things around the house, use the bathroom, yada, 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 before I get ready to go. Thank you guys very much. No live tonight. I will try to do impromptu lives throughout the week. And then Renee and I are going to be scheduled to go live on Saturday. I'm trying to figure out, we are trying to figure out a time, but it depends on what we have going and how much work I'm doing and so forth and so on. I think generally speaking, Renee and I are always trying to aim for that 7 to 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. window, but we haven't landed on a solid time yet. Regardless, go watch all of the content, please. Push it as much as you can. Comment on it, share it, interact with it. Get your friends to come interact with it. Have a good St. Patrick's Day. Eat some corned beef and cabbage. And as always, hasta lasagna, and don't get any on you.